Celebrations will not go ahead if their demands are not met by the end of today. The students are demanding food allowance and money for the student fund NSFAS to be paid out. This follows a night of violent protest that saw the main gate and computer vandalized and the tent to host the centenary set alight. Presidents Jacob Zuma and Zimbabwe's Robert Mugabe are due to attend the celebrations tomorrow. Police are guarding some buildings at the Alice campus after students set a marquee erected for the centenary celebrations on fire. Students broke into various buildings and looted tablet computers and groceries while tires were being burned at the entrance of the campus. The SRC has blamed the violence on a third force. Minister in the presidency, Jeff Khadebe, is also expected to arrive to assess the situation. The protesting students are demanding that those accepted by NSFAS be given their meal cards with immediate effect. They also want the residence fee increment reversed. Well, let's get more from our reporter, Aldrin Sampier, who is at Fort Hare.
Well, we continue with the coverage of this developing story out of the Fort Hare campus in Alice. Remember that the 100th or the centenary celebration is expected to take place here tomorrow, and it has been crunch time, but there are concerns around security, considering that the violent protest, or how the protest turned violent yesterday late into the evening. If you've seen some of the visuals out of this campus where tents were set alight, as well as the computer lab that was also damaged. There's some major concerns raised by the students here, saying that the issues have still not been addressed, and they've called on management to have a sit down with them and discuss the way forward. Well, early on today as well, the students met here at the Alice campus to have a sit down with the SRC leaders as well to pave a way forward. And right now I'm joined by the president of Fort Hare, Bulela. Thank you so much for joining us at this point. What are some of the outcomes that you guys have decided on and during this meeting with the students?
Yeah, certainly this meeting this morning, we met to try and see how do we remember yesterday what happened. Some of the students were arrested, and we are talking about 30 students that were arrested yesterday. So we were trying to see how can we rescue those students, because they are part of us, they are part of this struggle, and we can't be happy sitting outside whilst they are sitting inside there. So we've decided that we are going to support those students, we are going to get them out, we are going to do whatsoever that is in our power to ensure that those students are back here in the campus together with us.
So the first priority right now is to first get the students, those 30 plus students that have been arrested, to get them out. And then in terms of some of the issues that you guys have raised with the management, what happens then?
In terms of some of the issues, we still want to continue to have engagement. We have requested an SRC management meeting to further resolve these matters, because there's still quite a lot of other issues that are not resolved yet, which we are not happy about as students. So currently the management, most of them, they are in East London campus. There is a dialogue that is taking place there. So our plans was that after we are coming back from court, then that SRC management meeting is going to sit down. We are going to further resolve these issues. We want all of them resolved.
Well, you guys have said that you want them all resolved with immediate effect. The centenary takes place, or the celebration of the centenary takes place tomorrow. What happens in the absence of not finding a resolution between the SRC management as well as the students and the management of Fort Hare?
Look, we will have to cross that bridge when we get there. What we are interested on now is that whatsoever the response that were given by the management, we'll have to sit down as students. We weigh our options, given the context of the centenary as well. We'll have to really weigh what do we really do, where do we go from there.
Well, as the SRC president of Fort Hare, you guys have decided that there should actually be a stay away and try to avoid a confrontation, as you put it in the statement. But at this particular campus in Alice, that has not happened. We've seen how the protest turned violent last night as well. Why has it turned violent?
We had an SRC management meeting yesterday around 2. The SRC management was to resolve these problems that we have. We had 16 demands, and we could not resolve all those problems in the SRC management meeting. Yes, we agree there were some of the resolutions. Now, when we came out of the meeting, we had to go back and report to the students to say this is how far we've been able to go in terms of resolving these problems, but insofar as the other problems as they are concerned, we could not resolve them. And students were dissatisfied about the outcomes of the meeting, and that is what sparked anger on the side of the students, and that is how then the burning started after all the dissatisfaction that took place. And you might have seen that there was also looting that took place. There was vandalism that took place as well, which is something that is regrettable. We do not support vandalism as means to achieving the ends to our struggle. We do not support it. We are rejecting it. There is no vandalism that is ever going to solve any of our problems. But we must also note that there are criminal elements that have also hiked on the situation to serve their own particular interests.
Just a final question. Is there contention between yourself as the SASCO president, as well as the leadership of the SABC at this particular campus? Because this particular campus, the SABC, is led by DASO, which is the DA's student arm.
There is no division between me as SASCO, as the president of SASCO. I am not the president of SASCO. I am the president of all the students of the University of Fort Hare. The leadership at campus level, the premier is not the premier of DASO, is the premier of all the students of Fort Hare. There is no divisions in the SRC. We are one SRC, we are leading one students.
Well, you say there are no divisions, but yet you have called for what you call a stay away, but that hasn't happened here particularly. At East London it has happened. People are not protesting as we see here, and the impression that you get is that the DASO, which is leading this SRC over here, has sparked this as well. And as I've indicated earlier on as well, that we've seen different political party youth student wings as well being part of this protest, and they did not hit the call from your SRC that said stage a stay away, not a protest.
Remember, this is a question of timing. Our stay away did not start exactly at the time when in East London it started. And so also the problems in East London and Alice, because of different faculties, you would not have a case where you've got similar challenges. And therefore, the ease in solving these problems is equally not going to be the same. So what happens when is as a result of how problems are solved and whether there is success in terms of solving those problems. So it is not a matter of this campus not agreeing with the other campus or this organization not agreeing with the other. It's just a nature of the problems and the mechanisms, therefore, that will be used in solving these problems.
Final question, will the centenary celebrations continue tomorrow?
We do not know whether the centenary celebration will continue. It is not dependent on us. We are not controllers of the centenary celebrations. We are just, what we all know is that we want solutions to our own problems. Our problems must be resolved.
Well, as you can hear, the president of SASCO saying that the centenary celebration is still unclear where it will go ahead. But you looked at the reaction from all the students here at this particular campus saying that that centenary celebration will not go ahead. And one can only imagine that this situation, it would be a nightmare for the security cluster, who will be trying to make sure that this area remains secure when the centenary celebrations take place. Another hurdle right now is getting all the organizers in to make sure that the event is set for tomorrow, when different dignitaries will be coming through. And as indicated earlier on, that the president of Zimbabwe, Robert Mugabe, has indicated that he will be part of the centenary, and of course President Jacob Zuma will be delivering the keynote address.